Hi, Lexi Daly here with this week's episode of Make It Monday for Paper Tray Ink. After visiting a graffiti park in Austin last weekend, I thought it would be fun to try to create some graffiti-inspired words for my cards. I immediately thought of the word dies from Dreamfly Soar, both for their size and interesting font design, and I decided to focus on the word fly. I die cut it from white cardstock and kept it in place with a little bit of tape on the back. And then I decided to add my color using ink blending. This kind of has a similar look as spray paint. I added it in dark from the edges, light towards the middle, with Hawaiian shores at the top and hibiscus burst at the bottom. And now it's time to have a little fun and add a little detail. I wanted to add a layer of confetti dots on the upper portion of my word. So I created a stencil using Yupo paper and mix and mat confetti. And I'm just lining it up and masking over the pink portion so that my Hawaiian shore dots only are on top of the Hawaiian shore ink. I just kind of wanted a little extra layer. You'll often see street artists add different patterns inside of their letters, and so this is what led to that idea. We have lots of small stamps that you could use to do this. Maybe some stripes, some hearts, some other more consistent dots. I've also seen drips in graffiti art a lot, like the paint is dripping. So that would be something fun to doodle on. So here is where I decided to stop my initial base layer of ink. And so from here, we're going to stamp the word itself on the die cut with Versamark ink and emboss it. I'm not going to be worried too much about my placement. I mean, I'm getting the letters on the word, but I don't care if they're slightly off center because that will only add to the drop shadow look of the edges. And you'll see as soon as I get it embossed how we're going to do that. We're going to just blend Raspberry Fizz all over it. On some of my samples later, I've used black, I've used the Hawaiian Shores, other colors. I really like how the Raspberry Fizz worked with these two colors. It's a little bit darker than the other pink, and so once you wipe it off of the embossing, kind of make sure it's all rubbed off and rubbed in, it really does let these other colors pop. So now we can reveal what it looks like with all the extra ink around the edges. So we carefully untape it, and pop it out, and you can see how the edges are kind of like a little bit of a drop shadow tracing around the word. So I'm layering it on top of 2 extra die cuts for a total of 3 die cuts so that it has stability, and then I'm moving on to the card. In keeping with the graffiti theme, I'm using a paint swash from Watercolor Wonder, and I decided to go with yellow. I think I was inspired a little bit by Fresh Prince with my color scheme today. And I'm using 2 of the sentiments from the same set to go with fly. Vertically on the side, it says, spread your wings. And then horizontally next to the Y, I'm putting reach for the sky. So all together it says, spread your wings, fly, reach for the sky. I think this would be a great graduation card for a hip teenager. My daughter gave it 2 thumbs up. So before I assemble my card, I'm going to flick on a little bit of pearlescent shimmer watercolor paint from the Kuretake Genzai Tambi set. And then after I trim my panel, I will add it to a card base and attach our fancy graffiti art piece, and the card will be finished. Super fly. And then here are a couple of other ones I made along the way. Here's one that is using pink ink up from the bottom with some blue polka dots. And then here's another pink and blue combo using a curlicue stamp in the middle. In practicing and perfecting my word art technique, I ended up with a handful of die cut words that I can use on future cards. Most are variations on the same color scheme. But I also tried things like doodling dots and lines on words, adding shine spots with a white pen. Here on the dream and fly in pink and yellow, I went with crisp lines by masking off the lines down the middle. And then on these, I used black as my final pop color. It doesn't wipe off as cleanly as the lighter colors do, but it looks pretty cool and pretty consistent with graffiti art. So there you have it. A hip, fun teenage card with word art inspired by street art. Now it's your turn. Die cut a big word, make it pop, and head on over to the Paper Tray Ink blog to link up and play along. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Thanks for watching. This has been Lexi Daly for Paper Tray Ink. Bye!